Hello, friends. Welcome to the Cotton Guru Media special edition. Why is it so special? It is very, very special because we are going to now speak to Mr. Eric Trachtenberg, who is the Executive Director of International Cotton Advisory Committee, most famously known as the ICAC. It is based out of Washington, USA, and it is the apex institution or association, whatever you call it, but it is the apex body for cotton statistics and for promotion of cotton as one of the most renewable, natural, eco-friendly resource. And I am glad and privileged here to be here with Eric. Welcome, Eric, to the Cotton Guru Media Show.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to join you and to connect with our friends in India.
Yes, the pleasure is definitely mutual, Eric. The first question for you, Eric, obviously, is being a newly appointed executive director of such an apex association, what is your vision for ICAC for the future?
Well, first of all, I think it's a very exciting time to be with ICAC. I'm coming into this new position, and I wanted to first start by thanking our team and our member countries and our colleagues around the world, and especially India, which will be hosting our plenary. I think ICAC is entering a new and dynamic phase, and we've had a change over the last few years, and we're trying to reimagine the organization to better serve our members and our other stakeholders. And I just wanted to share a few examples of how we're doing that in a rather concrete way. Now, one is that we've really recommitted ourselves to providing comprehensive data and support for the entire value chain. And this is from seed to customer. I mean, as we all know, trade is really dependent on good information. If you don't have good information, it becomes very difficult. And for cotton, this is particularly challenging because of all the complexities. You have yarn, you have cotton, you have textiles, and the markets move in very different ways. So I think the most basic part of it is ensuring the timeliness and quality of our data really helps the trade move. And most recently, we hired Mr. Kanwar Usman as the head of textiles. And he has some big ideas on how we can serve not just cotton producing countries, but also consuming countries. And I think in this role, ICAC has a really distinctive responsibility because we are the only intergovernmental commodity body that covers cotton, and it's recognized by the United Nations. And we can work with countries in a pre-competitive way that is not biased in for or against any nation's production. And so we are in support of the entire value chain everywhere, and that is our role. And so we can extend our support and services all the way to the retailer and beyond. So within this mandate, our focus on textiles will be a new major area of emphasis in the coming years. And so we're in the process of working on a new publication focused on textiles. And beyond that, we're also looking at how we can bring value added to cotton production in our member countries, so they can benefit not just at the farm, but also further on down the value chain. Speaking of innovation, I also wanted to focus on some specific programs that we're working on. For example, we've deployed this new technology, a virtual reality cotton training program. And, wearing a VR visor, we can train farmers in a very immersive environment that can significantly improve their understanding and retention of best practices. So it's not just textbook, it's not just two-dimensional. Literally, you're in a three-dimensional environment, learning, how to work with cotton production better. And I've been an agricultural economist for more than 30 years, and I've never seen a technology like this deployed anywhere. And the headsets are rechargeable, and they don't require cables. We've also developed a voice-based cotton expert application, which can teach best practices to illiterate small farmers in less developed countries, which means it's actually really useful for farmers.
Right.
And it uses GPS and artificial intelligence to really help farmers troubleshoot real-time problems. But beyond that, we're not standing still. And in the future, there are other compelling opportunities to work in sustainability and international agriculture development. Before coming to ICAC, I actually spent quite a bit of time working for donors in both of those spaces. And I believe that cotton has a very strong sustainability story to tell because of its lower impact on climate compared to alternative materials. And I'm looking to reinvigorate those efforts through our expert panel on social, environmental, and economic performance. And I see also, on the ag development side, a really critical role in helping 100 million, often poor cotton farmers, earn more from their families. In this way, cotton and ICAC can play a critical role in fighting poverty in Africa and elsewhere while serving our member countries. So beyond these initial priorities, I look forward to further engagement with our members and other stakeholders to help me, understand how to make ICAC more effective.
Wow, just listening to you sounds so exciting. I have experienced that virtual apparatus that you mentioned with when I was invited by ICAC to Africa. You become like a small child when you wear it. You can actually see the farm. You can extend your hand and feel like you are touching a plant very close to you. It is fantabulous. And of course, the app, Dr. Keshav Kranti had shared that app, and our farmers have already started using it. And it is a real utility USP, you can say. So technology is one thing that you mentioned that can be a huge, intervention required in agriculture in our journey towards sustainability. Second thing is, of course, the data that you all explore so much. Data is power, and using the data rightly, analyzing it, and and sharing it real time with the stakeholders can be a big game changer. And of course, the keyword sustainability. You have worked in that segment before, and you value that so much. It is so nice to hear that. And how about your trip to India? What are your takeaways? You just recently visited India.
Yeah. No, I hadn't been to India in 20 years, and the country's just made pretty spectacular progress. I mean, just speaking at the meta level, looking at all the highways that have built, and Mumbai building a subway system, and the progress has been quite remarkable. Also, I was very impressed by, the dedication of our partner on the ground, Cotton Connect. There's the quality of people they bring to this. And really also taking this technology that I just mentioned to the farmer. My hero, Norman Borlaug, father of the Green Revolution, said you always have to take it to the farmer, because whatever ideas people have about how people should do things, it lives and dies by whether or not it really transforms the lives of our constituents. In development speak, sometimes we use the language beneficiary. I don't like the language. I like constituent, because it symbolizes that all of us, whether we're at ICAC or a development agency, the farmers are our constituents, and we report to them. If we improve their lives, then we've succeeded. And so one of the things I really saw in India was the connectivity between our work and, of course, our very, very talented chief science, Dr. Keshav Kranti, and working with Cotton Connect, and then going into the field and working with the farmers. So that I like that whole connectivity between theory and practice. So I think, my initial thoughts on, travel to India were really positive, and it really does seem to be a country on the move.
It is definitely one of the most fastest developing countries in the world, a growing economy, and agriculture-wise, yes, there are a lot of things to be done, but still, we have done a lot in the last 2 decades since you last visited. So you are basically from an economy background also, you shared that. And cotton, as our cotton man of India, Mr. Suresh Kotak says, it's a composite economy. And the ICAC website also highlights that we have only explored part of the cotton, right? Cotton and cotton seed, then cotton linter, so many other things to explore of cotton. Value addition wise, byproduct wise, where do you see, the next decade going toward? Where would your focus be? You did mention value addition in your thoughts
Yeah.
during the interview.
Well, I think the things that I'm looking at, again, this is like week 3 for me, but the things that really jump out at me are telling the sustainability story of cotton. That it's a natural fiber. So part of it is that it's actually good for greenhouse gases. Dr. Kranti's done a tremendous amount of work in that regard. But I think that's one issue, one message. The other message is really helping poor farmers do better. But that's kind of been a lifetime priority of mine. So I've been trying to do this since the late 80s. So and then really working with our stakeholders to try to put the pieces together, create really strong, vibrant global markets. So all the good things we're trying to do along the value chain will actually stick. I think technology is an interesting thing, but trying to make sure that it's really relevant. But trying to align, but really also trying to align the interests of our stakeholders and trying to serve the interests of our member countries. Our 27 member countries, they're the ones who are the backbone of the organization. So I'm going to be very, very focused on, seeing what they would like from us and seeing how we can do it better.
Correct. Continual improvement, yes, everywhere.
Yep. The Deming method.
Yes, with you at the helm, we can definitely expect more momentum. ICAC team has been doing great lot of work in Africa and lot of other countries also, because last year when I visited, I really saw the groundwork that was done there. In spite of the limited resources, really commendable work. Now we have a big event coming up in India, the 2nd of December, the ICAC plenary meeting, one of the most awaited events of the year, and happening in India, and you with your team would be coming here. What is your call for the prospective visitors and of course who have already registered for the event?
Well, I think this is why one of the many reasons why I went to India very quickly after I joined. I was in the office 3 days and then I flew off to Mumbai.
So your first international trip as the executive director was to India?
Yeah, I wanted to go right to India because, thanks to the incredible generosity of our Indian partners, the facilities really are spectacular. There's just no other way to put it. I'm not sure I've ever seen a venue as beautiful as the one the Indians have offered to us. The Joe Center is absolutely spectacular, and
True.
It will easily meet the needs of the hundreds of people who will be coming.
And keep them, awed by the aura of the place. It is done very fantastically. Yes.
Yeah, if you're not awed by that facility, then I wonder if you still have a pulse. But anyway, but when I go to the site in December, I'll focus on meeting members, delegates, to be sure that I understand their challenges, opportunities, because we're a member-driven organization. But for now, I'm really focusing on a listening tour, where I've been trying to talk to stakeholders and better understand what role we can play in creating a highly productive and sustainable cotton and textile sector. As an agricultural economist who greatly values learning from farmers, I'm really also looking forward to the 2-day technical tour that'll enable me to better see firsthand which makes Indian cotton and textile sector so important. So, I think we're really well set up for the plenary that is to come in December.
Wow. So, anything special that you plan to do after this ICAC event? Because it will be back to back two visits to India. One to explore regenerative cotton that you are here, and ICAC definitely would provide a wider platform of conventional cotton mixed with sustainable cotton. Any long term plans for India, Eric?
I'm sure there are. I mean, India is a major player in our industry. Um, in terms of just, working on, again, I'm thinking about the themes. Um, you know, Obviously, I have a kind of a strong traditional interest in ag development. So I'm likely to pursue that, but also thinking in terms of, zero carbon cotton, and maybe there's a value added there. Or I know, Dr. Kranthi has been doing a lot of work in terms of biochar. Really, really innovative thinking and how to create biochar and how to use that to boost soil health, which, as we know, is really critical to long-term ecological sustainability of agriculture production. Um, you know, uh, India is a fascinating place, both culturally and because of its importance in our sector. So um, I'm already going to India twice this year, and I anticipate I'll be going back a lot more. But on this last trip, I went to Bangladesh. There is a good chance I'll be traveling to other neighboring countries, such as Pakistan, because I think it's very important that we have a balanced approach to all of our members and that we meet all of their needs. So, but definitely India is going to be playing a very essential part in my plans going forward.
So it's great to know India has already made a special place in your heart.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting, and of course, India just is one of the most important countries in the world in terms of cotton production and consumption, and again, I want to really single out the organizing committee. The theme about the cotton value chain and connecting local innovation and global prosperity. It really connects to our theme of knowledge transfer, which is what we're trying to do. And we can do it in this neutral, pre-competitive, globally oriented way. And, I think that I encourage everyone to join our plenary. I think it's going to be an excellent event. It's going to be held in this incredible venue and magical city and one of the most important cotton countries in the world. So I hope those who are interested in cotton to be in Mumbai from December 2nd through 5th and be part of our 81st plenary meeting. And for those of you who come, I hope to meet you there and learn from you.
Sure. So here was Eric from the International Cotton Advisory Committee, the ICAC, based out of Washington, USA. He is inviting, and along with him, Cotton Guru Media, we are inviting all of you, spectators, viewers, those who will view this interview, please visit, please register for this event. It's a once in a lifetime event because happening in India with the ICAC whole team and delegates from over 25 countries visiting here. It is going to be one of its kind event, and we invite all of you to register as soon as possible on the ICAC website and enjoy the fantastic journey of cotton through the eyes of ICAC on the platform of India and have a real-time idea of what is happening in the cotton and textile industry.